Good morning, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me? Good morning, everybody. If you give me a like to thumbs up or message me on the chat, I would know that you can hear me, and then we can start our review. Today, SPY, Dow, Nasdaq, all are negative. 0.5%. Dow is close to 0.5%. SPY 0.63, and the Nasdaq is 0.89. Uh, it's just pulling back. Hi, Nick. So is if we look at the SPY chart, let's check the SPY chart for us to understand what is happening on the daily. Let me just pull it here. So if we look at it, SPY tried to make all-time high on 29th of April, and then last two days consolidation, and then now moving up down. So it couldn't break the 420 mark, so it's now coming down. So we might see testing this level, which is around 410. And if it's a big gap down or slightly can touch 50 moving averages, which is around at the same level around 412. And if you look at the Nasdaq, Nasdaq looks similar, but Nasdaq is look much weaker. It is below the moving averages, so seems like that uh, that the Nasdaq is weaker, couldn't sustain that. Now it's trying to move back down, which support it has been created on 334. So we're gonna see that whether it's gonna continue momentum down and touch 50 moving average or what it does. Okay, and see. All right, next. Uh, let's see the stocks which we are gapping down today since the market is gapping down. Uh, so I have, based on my scanning criteria, I only see an OCGN. So let's look at the OCGN. If we look at the OCGN, OCGN is a bit tricky. Uh, in the sense that in the December 22nd, it popped up uh, from the, on the penny stock, moved to $2, and then moved to $14. And since then, from the February 5th, it was a downtrending and it got a support around 5 in the April and then moved back up on the from the fifth from the $5. Now, if you look at the closer of the last week of April and May, how it's doing, it's turning up, went up to the 14, then touched base the $9 mark, quad two times it touched the $10, has a nice support at the $10, and then moved back up on the bull flag. Now, uh, I wouldn't say this is a gapping. It though it's gapping down, but it may be a formation for a bull flag for another leg up, right? Because it is just a pullback from the high. We need to see that whether the support it has on the around 1350 or 14, whether it can keep that or not, or it's just gonna continue to sell down like the way it did here. You know, so that we need to see. If we look at the closer look of the 30 minutes candle, so we will see that yesterday it made a high on the 1624, then came down very heavily. This morning, uh, it gapped up, tried to move over 1530. I mean, it's not gapped out, but even though it's close to the previous day close, but tried to move up to 1530, but 1530 level is rejected and then came down back. So now for us, the first resistance we can see is the same resistance, which is an afternoon resistance, which is a 1530, and now it is forming a nice support on the 30 minutes is here around the 13 level. So this is going to be a range in play between the 14 to 1360, and we're going to see that whether we get a chance to get some pull down. I would not love to go for the breakdown on this stock because this is yesterday gapped up and now gapped down. So it might be, as you mentioned, the 1316 may be an important support. which we mark in the daily, and it seems like on a 30-minute chart it is holding right now. So this is the range or channel we're going to look at it for any play we wanted to go. So next for gapping up stock, let me see what I have on the gapping. I don't have any gapping up stocks too. I mean, this is another day which we do not have many stocks. Let's see what are the active stocks, and then maybe we can pull some of the stocks for our testing. So from the change perspective, so today VXRT is up 18%. Let's check it out. So again, let's go back to the daily chart. So VXRT again from the April 27th, very bullish move all the way from $5 to $13. Yesterday, though it gapped up, but it sold off heavily and it touched 17 and then pulled back up to $10. Now, what we need to see here in the 30 minutes chart is whether this can hold the $10 because $10 could be an important support. And if you can see here, it already tried in the pre-market 2 times. So if in order for us to go long on this stock, it has to move above $10 to give us a good run up, because there may be many short sellers who have shorted yesterday and have not covered. They wanted to see this stock under $10, right? If they go above $10, they might start covering their shares. And then you can see here, this big volume jump on 5 that could be the reason, is because that uh, after the market closes, some of the short sellers have started to recovering it, covering their shorts, and then it moved touch back again to the $11 mark. So we need to see clearly that if it's go 10, and if it's break this another channel of 11, then definitely we're going to see a good squeeze here. So but first target would be at 10, and in night is a very important support forming at the 9:30. If you look at the closely 15-minute charts, we see the similar thing close to the VWAP. It's still underneath of the VWAP, but wanted to move up. We see a crossover moving averages around 7:30. uh, Another crossover moving averages at 8:15. So what we really need to see right now, if you know we need to go bullish, is that this stock has to go over the VWAP. The first criteria for us to have a trade idea of going long is to see that this go over VWAP, and once it will go over VWAP, we will see that how does it react to the $10 mark, and if it gives us a nice formation over the highs, and then definitely is a big look at that how many times is it rejected the $10 uh, yesterday in the night, first hour of the morning, then 7 o'clock, and now let's see, and then the 8 o'clock, and now let's see that whether 9 o'clock mark would help him to reach to the $9 or no. So that's I have here. Let's look at the X. X is also up a little bit. Let's see here. They're active. Almost 451,000 shares has been sold. Um, this all is above the previous resistance. Wanted to move up. I would definitely keep an eye on this stock. This looks good. Nice formation on the top. Uh, Look at the yesterday candle. The market is a bit negative, but this stock is moving up. So if market pulls back a little bit, it can give us a good chance of moving up and down. But right now is under the VWAP, but on the daily it has a nice formation, so we can put into in the secondary uh, watch list. Let me check another scanners. I don't see many stocks today. So Bitcoin stock, let's look at the Mara. And as we mentioned in the pre-market yesterday, that it's making a formation, but it was downtrending. Throughout the. Let me just remove this. Okay, and as you mentioned that, it was downtrending in the pre-market. I was not comfortable going long, despite it has a good move in the morning. Uh, if you go back and look at my yesterday pre-market, I was mentioning that it is underneath of these levels, and if we clearly see it was downtrending in the pre-market, and that downtrend continued throughout the day. I didn't trade yesterday because I was waiting to see a nice formation, but unfortunately, I didn't find. I find another stock which is much more reasonable, so I took it. So, for instance, if you look at it here in the Mara, first 5 minutes was really bullish, and then dropped on the V shape. And look at this, there is no formation. It just came down. It's so when the stock's coming down like this harshly, this fast, it's always hard to do a trade because your risk is really high. So for instance, if you short here with the hoping it's going to continue to have this moment, what is your stop loss? Your stop loss is almost 38.44, almost to $2, $1.5, and it's too risky to trade on the 5 minute charts. Even if you look at the closely, the 1 minute chart, let me just move back. I'm just trying to help you to see that, even though stock is moving down, we know, but sometime is always best to avoid. Even if you look at the 1 minute chart, moved up heavily, sold off. Someone can consider in a 1 minute chart that that could be a bear flag, and we can go short. But since it was gapped up, it was gapping up stock under the pre-market. It Most of the time this bear flag is the false bear flag, because as the moment it break the pre-market low, it move back up. Because if you look at it, all the other indicators and the candles are way high, so it's difficult to find out these kind of trades on the breaking down stocks. So that's why I didn't trade it. But today, if we go back to daily again for today, how we gonna trade? Let's find out and see. It was X, Louis. It was X. So my platform got hanged. So I'm just waiting for to release it. I'm not sure what happened here. My platform got hanged. Uh, can you guys hear me now? I'm back. So we're looking at the Mara. Let's look at the Mara daily. Awesome. Okay. Let me just remove this. Okay, so if you look, we look at the daily, the support it has on the 33 is wanted to break this support. So let's mark this as a support. It really looks good now. Previous day close would be an important resistance because if you look at it multiple time, it was a resistance and now it seems like a one of become another resistance. So previous day close is going to be a very interesting resistance. From the 5 minute charts, if we look at it, this is a pre-market low. Let's mark the pre-market low as a support right now. And if we analyze, this is the top of the pre-market, came down, moved back up on the 8 minute candle. Usually, 8 minute, 8 o'clock candle is just gonna give us the range of the high. The moment it broke it and it came down. So this is going to be another support here, or the resistance we can call now is 35.10. So right now the 35.10 to 34.50, which is a 60 cents range. If we're going to go any trade, we shouldn't be taking a risk more than 60 cents because it seems like the stock has a 60 cents range. If you look at it, the above range from 35.10, the bear flag it make on the 40 cents here or 30 cents, and then here another 60 cents. So seems like a 60 to 70 cents is the range for this stock now. So let's see how does it play out. If you look at the riot, so riot, if you look at the daily, let me just remove all the lines. We can draw again. So if you look at the daily, similarly, pull, sold off really fast, move back up. There's a support was created, but it's become a resistance. Now it's underneath of this. So definitely, the previous consolidation would be a strong resistance now. And in terms of our channel, we can clearly see the next channel is up to here. And if we can also mark this, so this is going to be our channel. Now let's look at the 15 minutes. Clearly we can say that after 12 o'clock it's just consolidated, gap down in the morning, move back up, and then now coming back down again. So uh, to be honest, is in channel right now. It doesn't have any clear direction, but this just seems like an important channel in the support. So we need to see that how uh, does it go. Next stock, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, I'm looking at the plug. Plug is coming down. Let's look at the daily of the plug. So similar formation like a Mara. Riot came down, consolidated for a few days, and but this one is sold a little heavily. If you yesterday it was really sold off $3, and now it is underneath of that support. So let's mark this as a support at the 25 level as important psychological level. If it's break this, the next support is in 23. So we need to see now on the intraday chart that whether we can find anything. So if you look at the 15 minutes, clear consolidation between the 26 and 25.70, and then flush out, flush down on 8 o'clock, and now again consolidating. So we might see another bear flag here. If it's break this 25 level, we may continue the downward trend, but we need to clearly see the big volume coming out because people may wanted to buy at this level because we have seen the previously people were buying at the 25. So we might need to look at that if it's pullback and come down, which gives us a clear indication that the stock is moving, wanted to move down further, then we can go short on it. So, so Mara, plug, OCGN, VXRT, access a secondary, and let me check. Yesterday, NVAX sold off very heavily because of the vaccine didn't approve. Right now, it wanted to coming down. See, almost 238 to very heavily is coming down. So we might get another pullback down. So let's keep this as well. Let's look at the daily. It has a support around 170, and another support is here. Okay. And then the resistance we have here is here. So when the stock sold off that much, most likely is going to continue one more day. So we might see moving down to 170. So we definitely need to put this into our gap and go strategy. Let me see the other stock. Let's see some other vaccine stock like mRNA. What is this doing? mRNA wanted to further go up. I think because maybe the people who sold their shares in the NVX, they might thinking that a Moderna vaccine is gonna have a more impact, so they wanted to buy more on the Moderna vaccine. So now it we might see some uh, break breakout trades here. Let's see on the 15 minutes what it does. What's the volume look like? Uh, right now is under the previous day close, negative for the day, but it can turn into red to green and move back up. So we can put into a secondary short list. Do you have any other stock for me to look at it, or that's all I have? And I want to wish you a green day and the rest of the week. So do you guys have any other um stock for me to look at it, or we should end our session now? Nick, Lois, any questions for you? All right, guys. Awesome. Okay, so see you tomorrow, and hope you all have a great green day. Take care, guys.